Welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, where we share testimony stories. Today's story is the Counseling Center for Men's Network. And again, we have called Mr. Nelson Banda from the Men's Network to tell us how are they faring. We've had a lot of stories from them, we've shared a lot, but now we want to know where they are. How are they faring? Is this helping the communities or not? Mr. Nelson Banda, welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike. It's a pleasure to have you once again.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's quite fulfilling to be here again after a break of about 4 months.
Yeah. Thank you. So today our main interest or our focus is on knowing how you are faring with the counseling center. We have, as Comfort Time, we have counseled a lot of people, couples who are struggling, and the men who seem to be clueless on what is happening. And so we want to know, how are you faring? Are you overwhelmed with people wanting to be counseled, or are people not coming forward?
Well, thank you very much for that question. Yeah, actually, the Men's Counseling Center was set up to provide counseling services to men and boys. We saw that some of the men that were been reaching out to, wanted their own space to talk about their own experiences. We also have been reaching out to boys, and the issues that were being brought up in the men's spaces are quite the same with the boys. They wanted a space where they could talk about their own experiences. And also some of us who have been associated with the men's network have got personal stories that to tell, but we thought we should actually come together and put up a facility that would actually respond to issues concerning men and boys. So the center is doing quite well. We use it for counseling men and boys, but we also use it as a platform when we're doing our meetings with a cross-section of people, our traditional leaders. Sometimes we also use it, we bring boys together and conduct trainings at the center. So it's quite interesting to share with the audience that here is a facility for men and boys where they can be assisted in one way or the other, in terms of giving them space to share their own experiences. Yeah. Okay.
So, Mr. Banda, when someone is overwhelmed, like I'll take for example a husband is having challenges with his wife, or the wife is about to divorce him, do you have any means of helping them to understand their issues?
Yes, we do. Like I said before, we provide counseling and listen to their story.
Okay, so yes. When you listen to the stories, are you also able to maybe send them to other bodies that can help them? Because I'm sure you can only help up to a certain level. Yes. And I'm talking about that because recently, and I have authority to talk about this case from the owner of the problem, I was dealing with a lady who is having challenges with her husband because, one, she says he's managing the money alone. They've been married for about 16 years, and he says you bring nothing to the table because you are a housewife. So I'm the only one working, and therefore I can do with my money what I want. And he also, the wife had suggested that they have a joint account where they can put a bit of money every time for a rainy day. And he started doing that. They started saving, but without her knowledge, he came and stopped that account, closed the account, took the money out without her knowing. She just discovered recently that that's what he did. So now she feels like he's not respecting her as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother. So I wanted to know if such a person comes to you, are you able to guide them on the right way of living with a woman?
Yes, in fact, those are some of the cases that we take on. We provide counseling. Like in this situation, I think it's not fair for that man to say that he's the only one who is working. I think both of them are working. The fact that one goes for work early in the morning and the other one remains home, because the wife remains at home and she's looking after his children,
cooking, even
cooking for him,
helping the children with homework.
Yes, yeah, that is unpaid work. If we quantify, you find that maybe she gets, if you are to quantify it, she should get more money for it than him, because looking after the house is also stressing. You have to deal with the emotions of the children when they come back from school, from their friends. There are so many things that she looks at. So I think
you're saying when they come back from school, when she's the one who goes to pick them, so the stress of being on the road.
On the road, yes.
Yeah.
So there's so much that they go through. We do provide counseling to such kind of situations, and where we cannot proceed, I think we refer to other appropriate organizations, especially if we notice that it needs some legal interpretation or background. We refer to other organizations that we are working with. We don't
when it's bordering on mental health, that is beyond what you can deal with.
Yes, yeah.
That's very encouraging.
We work with a cross-section of institutions. Zambia Police in the Victim Support Unit, I think they handle quite a lot of issues that borders on criminality and legal issues. So we do provide, and other specialized agencies within that have been set up by government and civil society organizations such as the Women's Movement.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sharing some writing last week over certain similar issue, and I said, you see, women are part of us. They carry us for 9 months, and after 9 months they continue carrying us. Imagine the woman raising a child who becomes a president. What other job can a woman fail to do if she has created a president?
Can you imagine? Yeah.
That is a big job. Okay, it's a big job making someone to be a president. What other job can you fail to do? But perhaps one of the things that you can do in that scenario is also try to interrogate what kind of background is he? How was he brought up? Because some of the behaviors that people have emanate from somewhere, a certain background. If they're abusive, it means they saw it somewhere in their family.
And it was okay for them.
Yeah, if they're insulting, they're beating their wives, and they disrespect the other people, it means they saw someone within the spaces in which they were growing up who used to be like that. Because where we come from has got a very big influence on how we also respect
how we function in our lives.
Yeah. So I think you can try to find out from people that are associated with that person, so that you can find a way of helping him. Because at this stage, that woman has made up her mind, I want to leave. It means she has reached a dead end.
Breaking point.
Yeah, she cannot continue.
As like in our video, breaking point, I think the link will show. So everyone has a breaking point.
Yes.
People can put up with only so much. And when someone reaches their breaking point, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
There will be so much you have to do. You have to pray for God to change that heart. Because at that point, there's nothing good that they are seeing. Yeah. No, I thought that was really sad. We're still continuing journeying with them, hoping that he can show that he's really repentant.
And I think what is also important when people are getting decided to settle down together is they should look at personal interest that they have. What interest is my partner?
Yes.
What talents do they have? Because at the end of the day, you need to bring those things, those talents, those interests to work for you. If someone is good in sports, don't push them out of your way because they are your wife and they cannot take up sports. That is something that they are born with. Okay, if someone wants to be, growing, vegetables, that they like gardening, they want farming, I think that is something that you cannot take away from them. It is something which
it's God-given.
It's God-given. Yeah. So people need to, appreciate the talents.
Yeah, that we are different, and people can bring different things to the table through their own God-given talents. I know some good men. Men who respect themselves, who love themselves, who love their wives and their families. When they get a salary, so much money goes to the wife, to an account which is for the wife, for her creams, for her nails. She doesn't have to ask every time that I need money for this. That comes from her own money. When she wants clothes, whatever she wants, it comes from there. So this is something they've agreed on from the word go. She doesn't have to go now and say, can I please have this, can I please have that. Then money is that go for now housekeep. That's something different. So this is how, you expect that all families are running. You cannot say you get the money, it's from you, and your wife should be like your child who comes to beg from you for money for sanitary towels, for money for drinks, for money for her nails. And then if she's looking rough at home, she's not that you start saying she's dirty because the girls at the office are clean, when you have not been giving her what she needs. The girls at the office, they have boyfriends, they have men friends, they have husbands who care for them. When they look that beautiful, someone is paying for that. So you cannot expect your wife to look beautiful when you have such a short hand, you can't part away with your money. So I've dealt with a lot of cases where sometimes I don't know how to guide them, and I wanted to find out from you on issues of gratuity, on issues of a man's salary, especially a man whose wife does not work. How do you guide them to behave?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I'll pick it up from one of the issues that were addressed, when there was a pronouncement that people will be getting their partial NAPSA contribution. There was a lot of excitement in the country. People are so happy. Yeah, now in this case, I think it's always best for people that are living together, a husband and wife, to sit with their families, to do the planning. How are they going to use that money? Okay, how are they going to spend? What kind of business are they going to do? Because at the end of the day, it is the money that all of them have worked with. Their children need to be part of the planning process, because at the end of it all, you are also, mentoring the children to be good planners in future, so that the boys will also, when they grow up, they will involve their spouses when they grow up to learn how to do the budget as a family. So in this scenario, when someone gets their pensions, their gratuity, I think it's always best to sit together before they actually start spending. Okay, keep the money in the bank, do proper planning, interrogate your plans. What are the risks if your plan does not work? I think that is very, very important, because whether we like it or not, we work for families, and everyone that we work for must also have an idea of what will be doing,
what to expect.
And being open to your spouse and your family is very important, so that they don't think that, oh, today daddy has got a GX. Where did he get the money? Some children can start asking, what did daddy get the money to buy us this expensive car? And then yet he was driving, a Fiat 127, you know, that were very common in the 80s.
Yes, in our time.
Yeah, all of a sudden you move from Kalingalinga, you are now in Kablonga.
Yeah, we're in Kablonga. What happened?
What happened?
Is this selling drugs?
Yes, all those things. I think if you open, you tell your children, this is what I've got, and we want to buy this kind of a house or this kind of a car, or we'll buy a farm and we'll relocate from here to stay at the farm. I think you are teaching the children that tomorrow this is what you'll be expected to be doing. They'll be good planners, they'll be open about their sources of money. And
they'll treat their wives with the respect that they've seen you treat yours.
Yes, their mother, yes.
Okay, what about salaries? I know this comes up a lot with women who are not working. How do you guide on the salaries? How should the salaries be spent? Because sometimes women say, I went to ask for money for my nails. My husband said he has no money, but he got paid.
Yeah, salaries, the first time the money goes into your account as a man, I think we are all given pay slips. You take it home. This is what I've gotten. There are no loans. These are the deductions. And from there, you apportion the money. This is for you, for your hair. This is for the kids. And this is, of course, as men, you know, we need to interact with our colleagues. But please bear in mind that your family comes first. Yeah, because if I choose to go and spend some time with my colleagues, I should have first dealt with issues at home. I've paid the rentals, I've given my wife money for her shoes, nails, I've taken care of the school items that the children needs, and then I can also remain with something for my pocket, and the big chunk of which should be spent on family projects. Are you building? What do you want to do when you retire? Are you building an extra house for business? Things like that. Yeah, and this is what we are also experiencing when we have counseling sessions for men. You find that issues start popping up. By the way, we also receive men who come to complain about such kind of issues regarding the behaviors of their spouses.
The women?
The women also sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a two-way traffic. But the most important thing is communication. Sit and plan together. And talk. Yes.
We had a couple that has been in marriage for 64 years, and the link will show. What the gentleman said was that the anger of the morning should not be led to, you should not sleep at night with that still in you. You should ensure that at the end of the day, you discuss if there was anything that offended the other.
Yes.
That way, you are going to make sure that every day is a new day with new blessings. I think that's very cardinal, and I think that's something that we should all try to emulate.
Yeah, I know that every one of us has got moods. Yeah, every human being is like that, but we need to learn to manage the moods,
our emotions.
Our emotions. It's very, very important. If something happens at home, don't take it to the office. If something happens at the office, don't take it home. But you can find a way of dealing with it. Share with people that are close to you and find healing in that process.
Yeah, I think there's no harm in if something hurt you and you need maybe to vent. Your wife, your husband is supposed to be your best friend. So there's no harm, because she or he will see that you are you're not yourself, you are sad, or you are frustrated. So who is better to share that with than the person that you live with? So that one can help you. You say, no, today my day was not good. This is what I went through. And then she or he will comfort you, and then you move on. I see that you're doing very wonderful things, and I think we are yet to learn from you so that we can also pass on the knowledge we are getting from you. So I wanted to know, knowing that you're doing such great things, and I know that the place where you're conducting your counseling is not your own. What steps are you making to ensure that you have your own place? What challenges are you facing? Is there any help that you need? How can we help, or how can those out there who are listening to this program help you? Because we need you to have a stable place. Actually, so what challenges do you have?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. As a center for men, we received a good response from the men around the communities, but we also have challenges in the sense that the place where we have the counseling center is not ours. It's a rented infrastructure, it's a rented house, and you know, when you are renting, anytime anything can happen. The owners can ask you to leave, or sometimes you find that they increase the rentals, and that is beyond your capacity to pay. But we also have people that we work with who comes to work with us, our volunteer counselors. We, at the end of the day, we want to support
Give them some kind of allowance.
An allowance so that they can have something to eat at the end of the day, or maybe buy some soap, so that as they are coming to provide the service to others, they also look.
They are presentable.
They are presentable.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And so the funding does not put all that into.
Yeah.
They don't factor that in.
The funding does not.
Make provision
for such kind of items. So, and this message we would like to share it with others, those that might be interested to, to support us in future. That this is a big challenge that we want them to come in. We know that others can, provide support in terms of building, transport. We also have transport
challenges.
Sometimes
because you do need to move around.
We need to move around. We need to take people to other institutions for provision of other services. But
to network with other
sometimes
like-minded organizations.
Sometimes we receive phone calls from as far as Kasama, which is 800 kilometers away from Kasama, and you have no means of getting there. We have now an expression of taking similar services to Mwinilunga. We got a phone call, but we have no means of going to such places because of transport challenges.
So what I'm hearing is that you need to actually open centers in all the provinces. And as you are looking for funding, I think it would be nice to factor that in your proposal, that for this to grow, for your help which you are providing to the community to grow, you actually need to be visible in all the provinces. We are now working in 31 districts where we've got men's network chapters, but in those districts there's need for counseling centers, transport.
Issues affecting men are also coming out. They are coming out almost every day when we have interactions with men. They are being expressed. Men are being violated upon. A long time ago, this is never used to happen, but I think because of the opening of the spaces, men are now coming out to talk about these challenges that they are going through. So this, requires centers in almost all the districts where we're operating from. But of course, we would want to be present in all the districts of Zambia. I think
that should be something you're focusing on. Okay. No, thank you so much, Mr. Banda. We feel that this needed to come out so that those who have the passion for helping in such places can come through for you, because it's only through them knowing and understanding your challenges that they can help. So thank you so much for
looking forward to be here again.
Now you're very welcome, and thank you so much. So there you have it. The counseling center is open, has been open, and it's providing so much for our men. Once our men are okay, the women will be okay, the children will be okay. So it's up to us to ensure that this functions. And as you have heard, there are challenges, transport challenges, accommodation challenges. So please, if you are in any situation that where you can help in whichever way, pick how you can help, whether it's even just supporting the support team, that also is very welcome. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have not subscribed to Aunty Yunike, Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, we're asking you to do so. It doesn't take much. As you are watching the videos, just look where it says subscribe, click on it, and also remember to give us a thumbs up so that the videos we share can be shared with many more people. That way you will be helping many other people who may not otherwise have heard about this information. So share widely. They say sharing is caring. So thank you very much. See you in the next video. Stay blessed.